Hello, I'm Pam of healingstars.com. This is the chart for the new moon, 14th of August 2015, and as usually I'm using whole signs as the houses, so you can get the idea. This is a Leo new moon. Here are the planets, the sun and the moon, and notice how they're right next to Venus. Here's Venus at 23 degrees, sun and moon at 21. Venus is retrograde, coming back to actually join the sun on the 15th. Leo is a sign of the king, the heart, the lion king. Our center of our solar system, everything goes around the sun, and that's Leo's energy. It's a party energy, playful energy, great energy. However, you might have been feeling a little bit pressured, that you're having a tougher than normal time. And that's because of another very powerful connection between two planets called Jupiter and Saturn. I'll take you back 11 days ago. This is where it was exactly. A square, a tension of his Jupiter at 28 Leo and Saturn at 28 of Scorpio. Both are fixed signs. Now the Jupiter-Saturn cycle is known as an economic cycle. It began way back in 2001 in Taurus, and every 5 years we get a connection, a strong connection between these two energies. So we had a first square, we had an opposition, and this is the final square until the next conjunction in 2020. Notice the dates, they're like decades that have a different energy about them. Fixed signs are exactly that. They are stubborn, they are intransigent, they keep things as they are, the status quo. But Jupiter, these two planets are at odds with each other. Jupiter wants expansion, Saturn constriction. Jupiter can expand too far, and that's where Saturn says, come on, not too much. It reins us in. So if we use the two energies wisely, we can achieve great things. Jupiter has optimism, it has vision. It's governed by Zeus, king of the gods, who sits up there in the heavens. Saturn, in fact, was his father who tried to suppress him, tried to eat these gods. It's a Greek myth. But Saturn also creates a wall, and that wall can be very helpful because it's like a dam holding back a body of water. It increases the pressure but builds the energy. The same is happening now. You might feel expansive, especially, notice, Venus and Jupiter conjuncting in the skies, and Venus joined Jupiter the day after. So that's all the good things in life. That's pleasure, that's sweetness, Venus, relationships, the party in full swing. But as I said, Saturn comes along, acting a bit like the parent, and just says, you can have your party, but make sure you're home by midnight. I like to recognize planets as people because they do appear in our life as people. So at this time, you might have found, depending on how well you handle Saturn, you might have felt restricted by certain people, authorities of Saturn. Anyone in a uniform, a dark blue uniform, has that Saturn air of authority. Coming forward again to the new moon. Jupiter has now changed sign, only just this week. Jupiter is now in Virgo, and it stays there for a year. So Jupiter is now in an earth sign. Saturn will also move into a mutable sign. The next sign is Sagittarius, but not for a little while yet. But Saturn is now moving forward. Jupiter is moving forward. At this moment of time, Mercury is moving forward. The only real hindrance in the puzzle, if you like, is Venus, retrograde. moving backwards through Leo, and then moving forward once more back into Virgo, where she just tipped her toe for a week. The other very important energy to be aware of at this time, Saturn doesn't dominate, is Uranus. Here's Uranus making a wonderful trine, a flow of energy. It's in a fiery sign of Aries, flowing to this new moon in Leo. I'm a very Uranian person. I'm an astrologer. I'm different from others, maybe, who don't have a profession such as astrology, which is an unusual profession. Uranus wants us to create new things, wants us to individuate, wants us to think outside of the box. That's the beauty of Uranus. It can bring great ideas. True visionaries, the true geniuses of this world, look beyond the limitations that Saturn might encounter a lot of us. So this is a very potent new moon. And remember, a new moon is a seed. It takes us forward a month, a lunar month, until the next new moon, which will be in Virgo. Meanwhile, enjoy, and I mean it, enjoy this fire, this party energy, until planets, one by one, will start to move into Virgo. The other important thing to notice, and you, again, if you're sensitive, you might well feel this. Neptune is in Pisces at 8 degrees, 52 minutes. Mercury's opposite in Virgo. This is just past. Mercury is moving fast at the moment. Neptune dissolves everything. Mercury is in the opposite sign of Virgo, which loves detail. Clearing, purifying are all the Virgo traits. It governs the intestines in the body, the colon. And that's important at this time of year. We're moving, not yet, but we are moving, of course, into that Virgo energy of back to school. But also health, digestion. Jupiter's now there. Jupiter is heralding the way. The planet next to go in, of course, the moon will go in, because the moon's a monthly cycle, but the next, of course, will be the sun. So notice, as I said, if you've been feeling it's rather tough, look for the rainbow. Look, Maya Angelou said this, apparently, that there is a rainbow hidden in every cloud. We just have to know it's there and not be caught in the rain. That's very much a Chiron energy, rainbow planet it's known as, rainbow bridge. Notice it's got a difficult, you see this green dotted line up there to the sun and moon? The sun and moon are in a fire sign, Chiron's in a water sign, and these two signs don't get along because fire and water, as most of us know, creates steam, but also water can put out fire. Chiron is the wounded healer in each and every one of us. In Pisces, as it's travelling now, it's hypersensitive. To all Pisceans, my heart does go out to you because I know Neptune and Chiron both amplify that sensitivity. But it's also, Pisces is the creative sign, a sign to do with music, great art, movies, visions that take us beyond ourselves. And that's something I truly love. I love the movies, especially ones where I am transported to another place, another time. So this new moon, fun, playful Leo, Venus is there, so be careful not to overindulge because Venus can do that. It's a desire for sweetness after all. But also notice the energy of Uranus, the excitement, and not to be trapped by Saturn, but rather recognize it's a necessary process for us to rethink, plan, structure, all Saturn's words, before we move forward into the autumn. Pam at healingstars.com